Hey y'all, welcome to Horrible Gaming. My name is Nora and on today's video we are playing some Palia. Today I'm designing two ideas with the Conservatory building and I hope it brings you some inspiration. For the first idea, I'm going for a witchy vivarium kind of look, so we're going to be using the stone building blocks which you can buy from the city hall as kind of like a really nice countertop location on each side of the building. I absolutely love this structure, but I do wish it had a tad more customization with it. I would have loved more colorways for the building because green obviously does not match everyone's aesthetic or style, and I also wish that we could use some of the window designs that we're seeing on our main house too. I hope that in the future, if we get more structures like this, we'll definitely get more personalization options, but for now we're going to use building blocks to kind of make the building a little bit different looking inside. Anyways, once I finish up the layout with the building blocks, then we're going to add a trellis item on each side, and this is going to be between the windows on each side of the wall. I just thought that this would give our build something a little bit more interesting to look at and extra storage for our greenhouse. Now that the base is done, we're going to place those trellis items that I mentioned, and inside each of the trellis items we're going to be placing two industrial shelves just to serve as a nice built-in bookshelf sort of look. Now the reason why I chose stone building blocks is I felt like it gave it a little bit more color in here and it complemented all the witchy tones that we're using too. I also decided to use stone pavers on top of the building blocks just because I thought it gave it a really nice texture and look, so this allowed me to also place items that I normally couldn't place on the building blocks too. Once I finished up the layout, here's how the build looks completely decorated. I think it turned out really nice for a witchy vivarium sort of look. I also swapped the color of the trellis as mentioned earlier just so it matched the building a little bit better, but I decided to go with a green and pink color palette for this build. The next idea will involve some help from a friend, and what we're going to do is place a tree inside of the building, and this is called ghosting. Basically, to achieve this, your friend and you are going to place both the tree and conservatory down at the same time, and it's going to glitch the tree inside of the building. If you need more in-depth tutorials on this, I would recommend checking out my friend Brick's channel at Not So Cozy Gamer. He has a full in-depth live stream on this. So with this next idea, you actually have two options on how you could go about the layout. You could go the more simple option, which is just using the building blocks in a circle around the tree, and this will look really cute if you put plants on top of it, but I'm actually planning to do a second level that'll connect over to the tree location that we're working on right now. So my plan is to do a staircase on each side of the building. To create my staircase, all I'm going to be using is 4 pieces and 2 of the gourmet butcher blocks in between each panel. The staircases will be 5 levels up on each side, and then once I get these built, we're going to fill in the rest of the build with the floor panels. Another idea I wanted to throw in here while we work on the layout is if you don't want to turn this into a greenhouse theme, I think that this layout would look really good as a cafe. You could go a more overgrown approach with it, but I think that this could be a great option if you're wanting to do something a little bit different with the building. So now that the staircases are done, we're going to fill on each side 2 building blocks, and this is going to hide the emptiness behind the build. Once I finish making sure that these are in line, then we're going to fill the rest of the building with the floor panels on top of these. You're going to snap them right to the side of the building blocks, and then this is going to make sure that the whole entire top level has a floor. Now this wasn't seen in my footage, but I did notice that my building blocks were not perfectly placed, so I made an adjustment and made sure everything lined up. Next, I felt like the second level kind of needed a little bit more detail, so I'm going to take a log cabin shelf and place a gourmet bowl on top of it. Then I'm going to grab the shelf by the bowl, and then this will allow us to clip into the building blocks and create a really nice trim. After finishing our layout, here's how the build looks completely decorated. I went for a more traditional greenhouse sort of vibe with a lot of cottagecore accents. However, if you prefer a more witchy-like aesthetic, I think that this build could work really great for that theme too. I think that both builds today turned out really nice for our conservatory, but honestly, I feel like this one was my favorite just because I was able to clutter so much detail into it. But I also feel like you could mix both ideas from today's video too, and I think that this could be a really cool build as well. Anyways, I hope that both builds today brought you some Palia inspiration. Let me know your favorite one in the comment section below. Before today's video also ends, I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting me as a creator just your support in general means the world to me. Thanks again for watching and have a horrible day. I'll see you next video.